Hey everybody, and welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
And we're here with Infinity Flux Comics going over all of the comics that you can pre-order this coming week. You have up until Sunday for pre-orders, so we've got some really good stuff you don't want to miss. I think this week is definitely heavy Marvel.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff too, so it doesn't feel so heavy.
Especially the number ones and stuff like Moon Knight's coming in strong with this one. Some really cool indie books, so stay tuned to see all of those. We do want to let you know that you can order any of our comics that you see on this show at infinityflux.net. You can go over there, you can pre-order comics. Everything you pre-order, subscribe to, you get 10% off of. Super easy. You can just get individual variant covers if that's what you're looking for, plus a ton of other really fun stuff at infinityflux.net. So let's get into this week's books, starting with our featured comics. These are the biggest ones we think you want to hear about, the ones that we think have some of the most exciting bits to go over. So let's start with Moon Knight, City of the Dead #1. This is a new issue, 5-issue miniseries from David Pepos and Marcelo Ferreira. And this is going to be spinning out of Moon Knight number 25 that I'll be talking about in a second. But this is going to see Moon Knight. He's helping a runaway on the streets because that's what Moon Knight does. For those who travel at night, he is their protector. But he runs into a group of death cultists, and so that flings him into one of his craziest adventures yet, where he is going to the underworld in the City of the Dead. So you're going to see Moon Knight in a little bit more supernatural settings. I'm really excited to see kind of what he runs into, because he is kind of a supernatural character, but for the most part, he's almost like just a street level character.
He's great because he fits both. Like, he totally meshes with supernatural stuff, but also street level stuff too. Yeah. There's not very many heroes that are like that.
But one of the big things did want to mention about this issue, if you watch the Moon Knight show, you may be familiar with the Scarlet Scarab. She is going to be making, because there's a Scarlet Scarab in the past, but this is the one that is more towards the show.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's the same character and everything we saw on the show.
So we've got some variants for this, starting off with the Alex MALEEV variant. This is it. This is the David Go variant, where you get your first look at that new Scarlet Scarab. So I definitely think you'll want to pick this one up if you're kind of speculating about it, because they've said they've got big plans for this character going forward. We also have, this is the Pepe LARRAZ foil variant. So check with your store about pricing for that one, because it's really dependent on the store, what they sell it for. We also have this really great Scotty Young cover.
Oh, Moon Knight is the moon. I love
He is the moon. He's doing a little twirl with all these mummies down below. And I'm getting a big feel, too, with that desert from the show.
Oh, yeah.
The kind of crossing the desert. So that is Moon Knight, City of the Dead. But also want to let you know about Moon Knight 25. This is going to be a $9.99 issue that is going to be kind of the start of what they're calling the first big Moon Knight event that's really centered around him. So that is, it doesn't give a whole lot, almost more the other book gave hints to this, but in this one, he is hunting for answers among the graves on Hart Island. So definitely dealing with a lot of the dead and that kind of thing. Yeah. Plus, this is going to have a classic backup story in it from Dave Munch, or how do you put it? Minch.
I think.
But it's going to have a backup story in it as well. So definitely want to get this one, read it first, then read the new one. We also have this beautiful ARTGERM cover. We've got a Frank Miller cover. This awesome Gary Frank cover. I love seeing some of Gary Frank's Marvel art now. We have this Jim Cheung variant. We have the John Tyler Christopher negative variant, which is interesting, seeing Werewolf by Night there. Wonder if he's going to be popping up anywhere.
That would be super cool to see them together again.
And then we have the Forbes Hellfire Gala variant.
Very minimalistic suit
Yes.
for the Gala. So next is Berserker, Poetry of Madness. This is a one-shot set in the same character that we've seen in the 12-issue Berserker run. This is written by Keanu Reeves and Steve SKROCE, who also provides the art for this. In this one, B is the Protector of Atlantis. Now, we don't know. I'm curious if this takes place in like maybe after the 12-issue series or maybe like in the past because he's like 8,000 years old or something.
I think it's kind of in his, since he's from like, caveman. I think this is like set.
I think
in a couple of thousand years later in Atlantis.
I think so. That would make more
in
sense.
its prime, yeah.
Right. But so he's the protector of Atlantis. They're unstoppable protector. But there is a secret cult that might mean the downfall of Atlantis, and Berserker is going to have, or B is going to have to protect the city from them. And if you've read the other series, there's probably going to be a lot of body parts flying around everywhere, but it should be pretty cool. So if you are a fan of the Berserker series, you're definitely going to want to pick this up. And again, it's just a one shot. And we have this A cover here by Steve SKROCE, and then the B cover is by CHAREST, and then or Charest, and then this is going to be a foil cover. So they did a lot of these with the main series. They would have like your A cover and then the same cover but foil. So this is the foil cover by SKROCE, and then the foil cover by Charest.
I think it sounds cool because it mentions kind of Lovecraftian elements and
Yeah.
stuff. It's cool to interweave kind of different genres.
Yeah,
into
especially
this.
because the last series was just him versus like mercenaries and
Yeah.
stuff, and we saw some. But so if you add in some supernatural-esque elements, that could be pretty cool.
Okay, next up we have a new Captain Marvel miniseries. This is Captain Marvel Dark Tempest, #1. It's going to be a 5-issue miniseries, and this follows the award-winning Kelly Thompson run. So this isn't just a random Captain Marvel series. I feel like this is the next chapter in her story. So this is going to be written by Ann Nocenti. Very long history of big comics, especially at Marvel. And Paolo Vinelli, which has been working on Star Wars Bounty Hunters. So very cool there. In this, Carol's been through a lot lately. She's had to deal with the Brood. She lost someone very close to her. But, of course, it's not ending there because a new cosmic threat is emerging. I wonder if it's this crazy face in the background that has come for Captain Marvel and are going to... It sounds like this entity is going to recruit a surprise legacy villain to wreck Carol's world. So it's an interesting turn, a surprising legacy villain.
Yeah, and I think it says something about one of the original Marvel's legacy villains, and I'm wondering if it's Rogue. No, that's Superman. I can't remember his name, but the guy that was in the movie. Jude Law played him.
Yeah.
He and Marvel butted heads a lot back in the 70s. So
it sounds very cool. So I know a lot of people love Captain Marvel. We're about to get to issue 50 that's going to be wrapping up the current one, but you've got more coming. So this is our A cover. We also have this great Jen Bartel Hellfire Gala looking awesome. We have the CF Villa Stormbreakers variant. We have this great Derek Chew variant.
like that one.
We have a very classic George Perez variant. We have this one. The artist's name is Rico, but the I is a 1.
Interesting.
So, Rico. And we have this really nice Rose Besh variant as well.
So next is Barnstormers #1. This is a new book from Scott Snyder. The art from this is by Tula Lotte. So this is kind of a period piece set back in 1918. There is a young man, an 18-year-old pilot named John Barron. He's back from the war. He was injured in the war, so now he's back home. And he's traveling the country doing aerial stunt shows. He's a stunt pilot. Along the way, along his travels, he meets a woman named Helen who also loves aviation. She actually joins him in his stunt show. She becomes, I think, a wing walker. And over the course of their travels and their shows, they start to develop a relationship, a romance. So what I found interesting about this is the solicitation for this first issue. That's all it talks about is who the characters are, that they enter into a romance. But the title says A Ballad of Love and Murder. but the solicitation doesn't mention anything about murder. So I'm very curious as to, because it sounds like a period piece of two people falling in love. But like, what's the murder? Like, there's something extra to it too that we don't know yet.
And it's Scott Snyder.
He's Snyder, right?
This seems very like out of left field for him a little bit, but it's gonna have all of those Scott Snyder storytelling beats that he loves in this, and I think that's where that murder comes in.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to see. I hope it's not either of them. That would be really sad.
It is interesting. The main dude's last name was Baron, like Red Baron.
Like Red Baron,
and stuff.
Maybe he's the original. I don't know. So this first cover, this A cover, is by Lotte, the interior artist. The B cover is from Johnson. We have a C cover also by Lotte. Our D cover is by Carnival. We have a foil Lotte cover here, and then the last one here is the FOC Moon variant.
Very cool. Next up is one that feels like I don't need to describe it for you because it kind of sells itself right there. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Stranger Things #1. This is going to be a mini-series, much like, we're about to get the Ninja Turtles Street Fighter. Ninja Turtles are just running in with everybody, which is so cool. But in this one, this is by Cameron Chittock and Pharaoh P. And it's what it sounds like, the Stranger Thing. I keep wanting to call them the Stranger Kids.
I thought you were going to say Stranger Kings. And I was like, that sounds pretty cool too. What?
That sounds like a new book.
Yeah.
The Stranger Things kids are going on vacation to New York. They are getting away from Hawkins, which of course is full of craziness. They think, hey, we're leaving all that behind us. Not if you're in the same universe as the Ninja Turtles. New York could be the craziest place you're going to. So some new villain is going to pop up in New York, and the Stranger Things kids and the Ninja Turtles are going to meet and team up to face off against whatever this is. It looks like there's going to be its own version of the Upside Down. That's kind of the sewer. I just think this is awesome.
If you would ask me to name two unlikely pairings, I never would have put these two together. That sounds so cool.
Yeah, it's so in the spirit too of the show and the properties that were big at the time. So this is our A cover for that. Then we have, this is the Corona variant. We have the Woodall variant. Looks like there's going to be a lot of creeping in the sewers going on. This is the Gorham variant. Very cool. And I did want to mention this too. So the TMNT Annual 2023 is also coming out. And in this one, it sounds really interesting. No Stranger Things in this one, but the Turtles come face to face with a threat from the future in this oversized issue, and the character on the cover looks a lot like from Last Ronin.
Yeah.
If you look at some of the covers, it all is very reminiscent of that. So, is this our first crossover between regular Ninja Turtles and Last Ronin?
It could be one of those deals where I'm going to go back in time and stop the Turtles before they can stop me in the future.
He's going to be Cable in this scenario. Right. But I think this is super cool. I love this cover because, it's like that classic #1 cover, but this time only one standing.
That's really cool.
So just want to let you know about this. You probably do not want to miss this annual.
Yep. Captain America number 750. So they are. So this takes place after the Cold War event that they're telling right now. So this is going to be written by Tochi Onyebuchi and some other writers as well. I'm guessing that this is going to have a few backups in it, with the art by Carmen Carnero and then some other artists as well in those other stories. What's interesting here is that it looks like this is the end of the Sentinel of Liberty and the Symbol of Truth books. Because those were, like regular numbering 1, 2, 3. We are now going into the legacy numbering 750. So this takes place after the Cold War, like I said. We don't know a lot about this issue yet because we're not at the end of Cold War.
They don't want to give away too much.
Exactly. But we do know that we're going to get the origin of Sam Wilson's shield, which I'm really excited about because I love that shield. But he just sort of had it when his book starts. Like, where did that come from? We still don't know, so we're going to figure that out. And then there's also going to be a new direction for Sharon Carter, which I find interesting because, there's a lot of questions about her in the MCU right now. So I don't know if they're going to try to bring the comics a little bit closer to that, or there's no telling. Like I said, we don't know too much yet. But what's also interesting is just today, we learned that in September there's going to be a new Captain America #1 written by J. Michael Straczynski that features Steve Rogers in the title role. So this book could lead a little bit into that. I guess once Cold War's over, we'll know a little bit more. We'll have a better idea of what's next for Captain America. Of course, we got Sam Wilson running around with the Avengers right now in that book. So all kinds of stuff going on for both Captains America, and everything is going to sort of wrap up here. So this A cover here, that is Gary Frank, and then we have several variant covers. This is by CF Villa, the Hellfire Gala. I mean, Sam looking just chic, very nice. We have the Souza variant. We have a George Perez variant. That's super classic Cap. We have a Javier Guerin Marvel Icon variant. And then there's a John Cassaday blue variant, a Cassaday red variant, and a Cassaday white variant. Yeah, so a bunch of different covers to pick from if you want to get in on the end of this latest run of Cap.
I think this is probably going to tell us a lot about the future of Cap, and it's cool that Sam is now leading the Avengers, and it's going to be, or as a member of the Avengers, and it'll be cool to see. Okay, now what's Steve doing?
Yeah,
since he doesn't have that.
I'm glad that they're doing that though, because I did think it was super cool to see Sam Wilson in the Avengers, but I thought, well, what's Steve gonna do?
Yeah.
Since Carol in that book very clearly said, I need you, Sam. Sorry, Steve. What's Steve gonna do? Well, I guess we're gonna find out.
It's also one of those classic, like, if all this is going on over here, how do you have time to do all this over here?
Yeah.
The classic Batman, like, how are you in 50 different places at once? So they each get their own place to work. Okay, next up, we're going to go over some other #1s. This is a very big week for comics, and that includes a bunch of #1s. So here are some other ones, starting with X-Men Before the Fall, Sinister 4 #1. This is another one-shot. I think there's 4 one-shots leading up to the Fall of X story, each kind of exploring something that's going to pertain to that big story. This time, we are going to see Nathaniel Essex, who is Mr. Sinister, created 4 clones at the end of the 19th century. And what have they been doing since then? It's kind of like they've mysteriously, not been popping up.
Yeah.
They've been lurking in the shadows, but what has their goal been doing, and what causes them to reemerge? What's going on there? So this issue explores all that, and also they've had to make a life for themselves. It even mentions some of these clones going on dates. So there's going to be a lot going on in this issue.
Clones get lonely too.
Yeah.
Clones got to find love.
It sounds fun. I'm interested in all this Fall of X stuff. So this is our A cover. We have the Bandini Hellfire Gala variant. We have this Cocolo variant, very cool with Gambit. And we have the De La Torre variant as well.
Marvel Zero. This is essentially a collection of all of the Marvel Free Comic Book Day books from this past Free Comic Book Day about a month ago. So you've got writers like Zeb Wells and some others in there, Patrick Gleason with some artwork along with some others, because again, this is a collection of several different stories. This is going to feature Spider-Man, Venom. You got some Fall of X stuff to go along with the last book, and then some Uncanny Avengers previews there too. And in this, you also get a preview of Jonathan Hickman's upcoming Ultimate Invasion, which I'm very interested in, because we might be getting the Ultimate Universe back, and you'll get your first glimpse of that in this. And also his upcoming miniseries called Gods, which we don't know a whole lot about yet, but you'll get a little bit of a taste of here. So yeah, if you missed out on all of the Free Comic Book Day books from Marvel, you can get this one book, and they'll all be in there. So this is our A cover by Patrick Gleason, and then we've got our David Marquez cover.
Yeah, with your Uncanny
Avengers.
Uncanny Avengers that mostly are X-Men with a little sprinkling of Captain America.
Yeah, that's weird.
Next up, we've got a couple of books in the Hellboy universe. This is Hellboy in the BPRD 1957 From Below. This one sounds really cool. It's just a one-shot, but Hellboy, Professor Broom, and a BPRD agent investigate an abandoned sawmill that's rumored to be haunted, but a discovery there reveals something even stranger is in the works. You can see kind of this eye symbol, very Eye of Horus.
And the eye is a saw blade.
Yep, with Hellboy laying on it.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So I just love these Hellboy one-shots.
Oh,
It's
for
just
sure.
great to get just one-and-done stories. Always have a fun twist on them. So just the one cover for that. Also, this one, for anybody who's read BPRD, you may recognize this character, Panya. This is Panya Mummy's Curse, #1. I can't tell if this is a one-shot or a mini-series, but Panya is one of the most mysterious characters in all of the Hellboy universe. She is thousands of years old. She was born in ancient Egypt, and she was kind of cursed with the power to see beginnings and ends of things. So we've never gotten her full story, and this is going to explore that. So this is another great one in the Hellboy mythos you don't want to miss.
That would be an awful power to have when you're like going to see a movie.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
you always just know how it ends.
Oh, but the middle part, you're like,
Yeah,
I gotta see.
yeah, I
how do
gotta
you get from this to this?
Got to see the second act, yeah. So this is a cool one. This is called Death Comes for the Toymaker #1. So this is actually written by a local writer here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Dakota Brown, and the art is done by Ryan Cody. So this story centers around a character that sounds very similar to like a Santa Claus type character named Gil the Toymaker. Every year, this character named Gil has to work for death. Death themselves, right? They have to carry a list of ready to harvest souls.
Ready to serve.
Ready to serve. Well, I mean, he's serving them up to death, I guess. Ready to harvest souls, along with his naughty and nice list, which sounds like a very interesting pairing. So, essentially, Santa Claus with death. What does that look like? So that's really exciting to see, especially being a local author here. What's really cool is we actually have quite a few of these Death Comes for the Toymaker ash cans signed by Dakota Brown right here. And if you sign up for this series with us, then you will get one of these along with issue #1 for free.
Yep.
So that's very
Even
cool.
if you're local or you're online, we'll put it in there free of cost. And just a little extra bonus, thank you for shopping with us if you pre-order this book.
Absolutely, yeah. So that should be a fun one. We flipped through this one. The art is really cool too, like a very nice stylized kind of art. Fits the book, so I'm really excited for that.
Okay, next up is a very different direction than Santa Claus. This is Gene Simmons' Dominatrix #1 of 4, a new book from Opus, who have been doing so many things that kind of center around music. This one is based off of an idea by Gene Simmons about a character named Dominique Stern, who's doing her very specific job. You can understand what that is.
She's an accountant.
Yep. Yes. When during one of her work days, she is interrupted by mysterious agents who seem to have super strength.
Okay.
This leads her down a rabbit hole of global conspiracy. So if you think this looks down your alley, if you're a Gene Simmons fan,
Or a fan of dominatrixes.
or accountants,
Sure.
you'll want to check this one out. So it sounds really interesting. Opus has been putting out some interesting books, so sign up for that one.
Next is Rocketeer in the Den of Thieves #1. Rocketeer books are always really, really fun. There was one that just ended recently. So this is written by Stephen Mooney with art by David Messina. In this one, Cliff Secord, who is the Rocketeer, and his girlfriend Betty, they return from losing the Great Race. And I don't know if that happened.
That was in that last one.
That was in the last one? Okay. So they lost, spoiler alert, sorry. and Cliff's jetpack is all busted up, but that's not... that's not good for him, but the good news for him is his and Betty's relationship is stronger than ever. They're really hitting it off. But the fun, the honeymoon essentially doesn't last long because an elite band of Nazis kidnapped Cliff's friend and mentor Peavy to get his help in making them jetpacks because they haven't been very successful making their own. So they need Peavy's help, and Cliff is going to have to suit up and go rescue him. But if he doesn't have a jetpack, how's he going to do that? So just these Rocketeer books are always so much fun, just like pulp stories. Simple, just easy to read stories. So these are really cool. So this cover here is from Rodriguez, and then we have a Messina cover. This is your interior artist.
Yeah, we just got that one shot this week that had the Adam Hughes story in it and everything. Just glad to see the Rocketeer back.
Absolutely.
On the comic page. Okay, next up we have cool covers and other comics. So this we're going to show off some issue 2s and 3s and variant covers we don't want you to miss. And there's some really cool ones this week, starting off with Doctor Strange number 5. This is actually the Dustin Nguyen Hellfire Gala variant. And this issue sounds awesome because Clea and Strange get invited to an interdimensional wedding. Ooh. But who is the bride? It's Clea's mother. So if there's not already enough tension brewing in that, you'll have to see what happens there. But I think this issue sounds really fun. This is our Hellfire Gala, Dustin Nguyen, and we also have this. This is the Lionel Yu cover.
Daredevil number 13. We are getting near the end of Chip Zdarsky's run. I am so sad about that because this has been such an amazing series. We don't know much about this issue because, like I said, it's near the end, but the solicitation did say the very first sentence is Daredevil in hell. So that sounds like not such a good time for him. Like I said, near the end of the series, I think it's either 14 or 15 that's the end. So if you've been reading this, definitely pick this issue up because you don't want to miss out right at the end. And here is our Hellfire Gala variant by Javier Garron.
Yeah, I can't imagine inviting Kingpin to the Hellfire Gala, but he's looking sharp.
Yeah, well, he did pop up in an X-Men book, one of the other ones. So yeah, he's why is he hanging out with the X-Men so much? I don't know.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have Edge of the Spider-Verse number 4 of 4. This is the final issue of this Edge of the Spider-Verse, and who knows, with End of the Spider-Verse that just happened to Spider-Man, who knows the next time we're going to see one of these. So this is has the return of Dream Spider from Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we also have a story where J. Jonah Jameson gets bit by the spider and becomes... I think they've done that before, haven't they?
Probably. I mean,
but sounds really fun. So this is our A cover for that. Then we have the Casanovas variant and this really nice Gonzalez variant as well.
Nice. Extreme Venomverse number 4. Just continue. This is 4 of 5, so there's one more issue after this. Just continuing the mini series of various Venom stories where the symbiote possesses or takes hold of different people. In this one, we have a symbiotic superstar inspired by anime, so I'm sure that's that girl on the cover right there. There's also a symbiotic Flora, which you can see kind of like a Swamp Thing, but taken over by, or the solicitation mentioned Groot.
Okay.
A Groot-type character, but taken over by the symbiote, and they're there in the background. And then Venom Noir, which is awesome.
That is a really cool idea.
It's Venom in a trench coat and a fedora. That's all you need.
The anime one kind of reminds me of like a Bow Wow from Mario, but in a wig.
Oh, right.
Like a jumping one.
So this is our A cover here. We have a Peach Momoko cover, and then a Ryan Stegman Venom, the other homage variant.
Is that like a venomized koi fish?
Oh, maybe. I think this is that symbiotic Flora.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And I love all the Stegman covers.
Awesome.
Are so good.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Spider-Man number 10, the Dan Slott, Mark Bagley Spider-Man series. And in this one, all it talks about is the Spider-Man is kind of, he's got kind of upgraded powers in this, and he is going up against the super-powered Electro
everybody's getting upgraded.
Everybody's getting upgraded.
You get an upgrade.
He touched that thing, he blew up, and then he's even more powerful.
Yep.
So this is our A cover by Bagley. And then we have this Hellfire Gala by Stephanie Hans.
Fantastic Four number 9, just continuing this great series by Ryan North. In this issue, an alien has taken over the mind of Ben and Reed, and Sue and Johnny and Alicia are going to have to sort of face off against them, and how do you fight your friends who also know all your moves, basically. And this issue is actually narrated by Alicia as well. Alicia's been really great in this series so far. She's essentially one of the team, right?
Yeah.
She's had a lot of screen time, if you will. So this should be just another stellar issue. So our A cover here, is this our Hellfire Gala?
No, this is our...
Oh, this is our Bianchi variant, right? And then our Hellfire Gala variant.
With Bobby Drake, Iceman, in there.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to think. I was like, that's not
He's friends with Johnny, so it's fine.
They're opposite. Okay, yeah.
Next up, we got some Star Wars books. This is Star Wars number 36. This new story arc that just started, I'm very interested in. And in this one, the rebels have learned of the second Death Star. That's pretty crushing considering all they had to go through to destroy the first one. But Leia has a plan to remind the rebels and the whole galaxy that there is hope. So I'm very interested to see what this is.
Is it a New Hope?
Yeah. It's a third hope because the first one helped with the first Death Star. This is another one. So this is our A cover. We also have the John Tyler Christopher Padme in Handmaiden Disguise variant. I love this one. This is the Jerry Ordway classic trade dress variant. They're doing this for a lot of the books. So it looks like it could just slip right in. I think it was very reminiscent of like the final issue of the Marvel original run where it had like the whole team there with the star background. We also have the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi variant.
I love these.
Next up, we also have Yoda number 9, which this current storyline in Yoda I've loved, that teams Yoda up with Anakin, and they are going to face off against the new Mega Droid. Also says there's a guest appearance by Obi-Wan. So this is our A cover. And then we also have our Laroka variant.
Thor Annual, the 2023 Annual, is coming. In this one, MODOK. I mean, when do you see Thor and MODOK duke it out? But MODOK actually gains control of all of the 10 realms, and with that comes brand new cosmic power. So you're going to have like a cosmic MODOK. The solicitation said introducing Mythos. So I guess maybe that's MODOK's cosmic name, and I'm sure Mythos is gonna like stand for something. I guess
acronym,
Mechanize. You could make your own. Put in the comments. Let us know what your acronym for Mythos is.
But don't look it up. Don't find out what the real one is. I want to hear.
Yeah, I want to hear the original ones for sure.
Worst, only wrong answers.
Right, only wrong answers. Yeah. So Thor is going to have to fight a cosmically powered MODOK. But maybe he's not going to be able to do it on his own, and he's going to have to ask for some help from friends from Earth to take on MODOK. So here is our A cover. We also have our David Marquez HELLFIRE Gala variant. He's looking very svelte there. Our Casa Grande Women of Marvel variant featuring Valkyrie, and then our George Perez variant.
I love that George Perez variant. Where they're looking out on all of Asgard and Earth. And so
super
cool.
classic. Rainbow Bridge is there.
Yeah. Next up, we've got some really cool covers for Venom, starting off with the Hellfire Gala variant for Venom. This is by Cassara, and we also have it's classic Venom on the cover with this Stegman variant.
X-Men number 24. This is still written by Jerry Duggan, art by Joshua Cassara. The mercenary, one of the mercenaries from X of Swords, named Pog Pog. Is it Herb? I want to say Pog your Pog because you
like
are
Pog or Pog.
Pog or Pog. Yeah. They come after the X-Men in their most vulnerable moment. So if you're a fan of that character, be sure to pick this up. And this cover here is our Mark Brooks corner box variant. I love these because I love corner box art from the old comics from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And
Mark Brooks is just so good.
Yeah, he's so good with these. I want to just shrink these and put them.
I want to. Yeah, I want to see these actually used
for sure
where they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got some DC books.
Hey,
DC didn't have like any big number ones this week or anything, but they still got some great other continuations of books, starting with Harley Quinn, number 31. In this one, Harley gets ready for Ivy coming home. So it sounds like this is kind of running alongside Poison Ivy's current series. And like all of these, there's kind of a backup story that's in Harley's imagination, and this one is an anime style where Harley is the hero of a mecha anime. So I'm very excited to see what that looks like. Very cool. This is our Jenny Frison variant. And then we also have, this is the Claire Rowe DC Pride connecting variant. And the other side with Ivy is in Ivy's book. So to get the two, you've got to get the two that go together.
Very nice. Green Arrow number 3. How much time you got? Because I could talk about this book all day. I love this book. So yeah, just continuing on this awesome Green Arrow series from Joshua Williamson, art by Sean Isaacs. In this one, we get to see Arsenal and Black Canary versus Peacemaker and the new Peace Wrecker. I always say that wrong. Peace Wrecker.
Peace Wrecker.
Yeah, and you can see them on the cover there. I can't wait to see that. While that's going on, Green Arrow and Leon are trapped in time and space. But they are soon joined by 2 other members of the Green Arrow family, which is very exciting. So, the more the merrier. So it'll be interesting to see who that is and how they get to wherever it is that Ollie and Leanne are. But this issue, or this series, continues to be great. So we have our A cover here by Sean Isaacs. We also have our B cover by Derek Chu. I love that one as well. And then our C cover by Luciano Vecchio, our Pride variant, featuring Connor Hawk.
And next up, we've got, this is for Action Comics, number 1056. And one of the big things it says about this is a shocking new character makes her debut. So at first I was like, I thought this was Zatanna on the cover, but this might be our new character. I'm not sure.
I think that's her.
Is that Zatanna?
Or it might be Lois in just some, like, Halloween costume getup or something.
So, not quite sure, but it does say a shocking new character makes her debut as the Speeding Bullets story concludes. So, very cool. This is our Sandoval cover. We also have our Talaski cover. Like Superman actually even needs to do that.
Right, yeah.
It's just a party
Show
trick.
off.
This is cool. This is the Maria Laura Sanapo, the Flash movie cover with that new Supergirl. And then this is really interesting. So this is the swimsuit variant. This is the Otto Schmidt swimsuit variant. There's 2 of these. This is the main one, or the first one, and then there's this one. So not very nice of Supergirl to go and blow on Superboy, but very cool. And you can just play them back and forth.
It's like when you're in you're with a group of people and they say, okay, let's take a serious shot and then a silly shot. They've got 2 different styles of cover.
So if you want them both, or you want the before the action and then during the action, you'll have to order those or get them both.
Detective Comics 1073. This is just continuing the Gotham Nocturne storyline. In this one, it's not a whole lot of new stuff because if you've been reading this story, it's still going. Batman and the Bat Family versus the Orgums. But it's been really interesting. The last issue was a little bit more action heavy than they have been, so I feel like things are coming to a head. But I can't wait to see how it all plays out. This cover here is from Kelly Jones. We have a cover from Mike Perkins. We have an Amy Reeder DC Pride variant with Batwoman and The Question, and then there's a Pete Woods swimsuit variant. Batman doesn't have time to chill on the beach. Like he can wear a swimsuit, but he's on a mission.
Yeah, you can catch me while I'm working.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, next up we have City Boy number 2. I love the first issue of this by Greg Pak. In this one, City Boy's powers come with a price. When he starts using them, the cities aren't liking it when he's moving through the shadows and everything. He's kind of disrupting.
He forgot to ask them. Yeah.
Yeah, ask for permission before slipping through all their hidden places and all of that. So it sounds really cool. I love the first issue. I highly recommend checking it out. This is our A cover. And then we have our Inhyuk Lee variant with Superboy on there as well.
Nice. Tim Drake Robin, number 10. We are getting towards... Is this the end? We're getting near the end of the series.
Very close to it.
Yeah. Megan Fitzmartin is the writer. Nicola Sismeja. I'm butchering that, I'm sorry. But in this one, Robin and Batwoman get trapped in the lair of the Chaos Monsters, which sounds pretty menacing. Here is our Melenkov B cover here, and then Travis Moore DC Pride variant here.
Next up, this one takes some explanation. So this is DC Night Terror's First Blood, the Howard Porter Darkest Hour Neon Ink variant. So like they do a lot of times with like the embossed covers of foil, they have to do the solicitation early so they have time to print them because it takes a special printing method, and you want pretty much print to order basically. So if you want this variant for the new upcoming DC Night Terrors big event that they're doing, your orders are due this week, and we'll probably have the regular series next week. They usually do these about a week early.
So is this like blacklight or anything? Or
it looks blacklight.
Yeah.
It says neon ink, but I think in a blacklight this would really pop. So make sure to get your order in for that. I think it's a couple of dollars more than the main cover, but there is that one.
The Savage Strength of Starstorm, number 2. That is a mouthful. Just continuing this brand new series. I think I haven't read the last one yet, but I think in the last one, a meteor destroyed Grant Garrison's skull, who is Starstorm. And during the funeral, the dead start to rise from the graves. So Starstorm is going to have to team up with a new group of people he meets called the Outcasts to stop them. So it almost sounds like a zombie story, like you have to fight the zombies. Here's our A cover by Drew Craig, who is also the interior artist. I'm sorry, the writer. Drew Craig is the writer.
And I think he's a writer and artist.
Okay, and then our B cover is by Wes Craig.
His brother.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so...
I have a different artist on my notes, so that's where I'm getting confused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like that cover. That's really
yeah, it's cool. His brother did that Kea series.
Oh, yeah.
And very, very cool that both brothers are in the comic industry.
Nice.
Next up is World Tree, issue number 3. Issue number 2 was crazy as this story of the undernet, the even more hidden version of the internet as unfolds. And in this one, is it too late to stop the internet from destroying someone else in Ellison Lane's life? It got his brother. That was kind of the instigator of this series, but it looks like it's coming for someone else. So this is our A cover. This is our B cover from Martin. Very creepy as everyone's looking at their phone screens and all that.
Ooh.
Except for that one guy. He's just enjoying looking at the birds.
His phone's broken.
Yeah, he's still got a flip phone and it doesn't come through.
Right.
He doesn't have internet connection on that. And then also wanted to mention there is a World Tree number 2 second printing. So this book has been selling out. If you missed
really
it
good.
or you want to get all of the printings, definitely grab this one.
Kong the Great War number 2. So in this issue, the men of U-184, a U-boat, they survived their first night on what I'm guessing is Skull Island. It just said the island, but I guess it's Skull Island. But I don't know if they'll survive a second night because more monsters from prehistory come out of the woodwork to terrorize them. So, yikes.
Out of all the islands to land on,
Yeah.
that's the last one you want to land on.
Yeah, yikes. Sorry about that, guys. So this is our B cover here by Geis, and then our C cover is by DeVito.
Very cool, like the classic
Yeah,
movie
like that.
poster. Okay, next up we have other printings and graphic novels. These are reprints of some of the books you may have missed, or some classic ones you may want to get. Also, some really fun graphic novels that you'll want to check out, starting with Hulk 180.
The first appearance of Wolverine.
That's what it's going to be like. The definitive first appearance of Wolverine. If you don't agree,
You're wrong.
think about what first appearance entails.
Right.
You see Wolverine, you see his costume in full. He talks. He says his own name.
Yep.
That's a first appearance in my book. But so you have Hulk 180, and then probably the more recognizable cover,
Sure.
Hulk 181. These are both the facsimile, so it's got all the original ads, everything original other than the price, but a more affordable way than getting the physical books right now. So definitely check those two out.
Clementine, this is book 2 of Clementine, the character in the Walking Dead universe who first appeared in the Telltale game. The first graphic novel came out, wasn't it last year? I think so. It's been a good while, but now we have a second volume with her. So if you've been enjoying this, be sure to get that.
Next up, we also have Star Wars Tales from the Death Star hardcover. I was on the first one that's kind of like this, the Tales from the Rancor Pit.
Yeah.
This is Tales from the Death Star. They kind of do these anthology-style graphic novels. This one, written by Cavan Scott with a whole team of artists, tells stories of the hidden evils that lurked within the Death Star. So you can see the Dianoga on there. I'm guessing you're going to get maybe some stormtroopers or TIE fighter pilots, Tarkin, Vader, the Emperor. Bunch of fun short stories with a little creepy twist to them.
And then this is the trade paperback for the Nemesis Reloaded miniseries that just wrapped up, collecting all 5 of those issues. If you haven't read that yet and you want to, be sure to get this trade because this is going to lead into Mark Millar's next big book called Big Game, which features a lot of Mark Millar's different IPs, different properties with Nemesis and... Wanted and The Ambassadors and Nightclub and Jupiter's Legacy and we don't know what else.
Yeah.
But the way this ended kind of is sort of hinting at that, at things to come, leading into that. So this is a nice way to read the entire thing.
Yes. So that is all for this week. But we just want to remind you again, you can head over to infinityflux.net where you can pre-order all of these books, subscribe to the variant covers, everything you subscribe to or pre-order, you get 10% off of. Super easy. So definitely head over there and check it out.
And you know, the website is great. In case you're wondering, like, it's really, really fast, and it looks great on mobile, which...
Yeah, that is a big plus.
Yeah, if it fits mobile, and you just tap add to cart, and it's just instant, like, everything is really smooth.
Yeah, I exclusively do it on mobile.
Yeah,
so
it's great.
Very, very, very nice. If you haven't checked it out, go over there, check it out. Great, great stuff. So thank you so much for watching this one. Tune in again for our Monday show where we go over all of the comics that are coming out that week and our spoiler light review show. It's a very good week to check that one out. Some big ones coming out. So until next time,
see you.
See ya.